our play, while arbitrarily incorrect, ended up rewarding us. Hello and welcome, everybody. We are here for round 3 with the list that you see on screen. We are currently 1-1, if I'm not mistaken, and we're looking to continue this league, see how it goes, do some cool stuff with Reclaimer, maybe. And I do want to mention, just like in the last video, I apologize if you're the type of person who is following my content every single day, waiting for this video to come out. This is going to be one that comes out late in the day because of the same responsibilities from last time, helping a friend do some cleaning and some moving. So anyways, like I said, I can't do anything about it, which means you can't do anything about it either. I apologize if it inconveniences you, but regardless, we're going to move forward here and see how we can do in this particular match. I will see you guys there. Also, I should say, while we're waiting here, that if you missed match 1, then you have missed the explanation of the deck and the deck tech and the details, all the things you need to know about this deck list. And if that's what you're expecting, then go check out match 1, where I cover in detail what is going on with this deck list and why we're playing the cards we're playing. I will not be doing that here. So yeah. Also, while we're here, I want to remind you that I plan on releasing another Amulet PowerPoint video once we hit 500 subs. So if you're interested in helping to produce some more content in that style, then go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I do make content every day. I believe the plan is to cover specifically Reclaimer Amulet and Karn Amulet builds and a PowerPoint, and assuming that's going to be the case, that's what we'll be covering. Regardless, let me know your suggestions for that video in the comments below if there's something you'd like to see, and go ahead and subscribe if you want to see that video happen. Alrighty, let's hop in here for the match. Playing against TCG LKN77 will be on the play, of course. Obviously, considering I couldn't even read our opponent's name, we have no clue what to expect. They do reveal a Yorion, so this is either, and it's also 80 cards, of course, so this is either a Niv to Light deck, which I think is very unlikely, or more likely either a slow controlling style like Yorion deck, or some sort of white taxes deck. I'm most likely to put our opponent on a taxes style deck. And we have a very interesting hand here. We can turn 1 Saga to search for an Amulet on turn 3. We can go Saga, Garen Brig, sack the Saga, float a mana, Amulet, and then play Bounce Land, Azusa, Bounce Land, Bounce Land, activate Garen Brig, cast Titan, all on turn 3. Oh wait, we don't have the Azusa. I guess Arboreal Grazer does the same thing anyway, so pack for Grazer, Bounce Land, activate Garen Brig, that kind of thing. Which is interesting. It's going to be weak if our opponent has Leon and Arbiter, but we do have the Garrison in hand here, which is pretty unfortunate. I suppose if we top deck a Garen Brig or a 3-drop, 3-drop isn't that great. I don't know, this hand's definitely borderline. I'm gonna keep it just for science to see if the turn 1 Saga proves to be good enough here. My suspicion is that this hand is actually going to be a little too slow, but we'll see. Also, if our opponent does play Leon and Arbiter, they do have 80 cards, so they're a little less likely to see a Leon and Arbiter. That said, I guess also a Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, would tax our Summoners Pact by 1 and be a little awkward. It would definitely stop us from having Titan mana on our pivotal Titan turn, I suppose. See the truth here. Does our opponent go turn 1 Vial, or do they play a blue land? Shambling Vent. Okay. Interesting one. Still don't know exactly what to make of that. We'll play out the Garen Brig here, of course. According to plan, we'll pass it back. See if our opponent has the turn 2 Arbiter. Shambling Vent definitely makes me feel like our opponent is on a taxes-oriented style of deck. See Wall of Omens. Alright, so we have Titan here. We'll float the mana with our Saga. Sack it and get the Amulet. We'll play Sanctuary. We'll yield to these Amulets, since we only have 1 in play anyways. Pick up the Sanctuary. I guess we can't use Grazer here because we need double green. So using a green to put in the Sanctuary actually is short. We'd have to double Summoner's Pact here in order to cast Titan. Ooh, maybe made a huge error here. We could pack for Dryad. We'd only have 1 land drop. Yeah, I actually think that I messed this up. I think that we couldn't play Titan this turn thanks to the fact that Grazer uses up 1 of our green, which is very unfortunate. If we had Azusa in the main deck here, which we don't, I'll double check that. If we had Azusa in the main deck here, and we don't, then we would be able to Titan here. So we are seeing the downside of not playing Azusa. I didn't think about that, though, which is quite unfortunate. We can't even cast Titan this upcoming turn. Things are not great here. And I don't think there's a way we can fix it either. I think we just have to pass. Like, if we play Dryad, if we pack for Dryad and play it, we're not going to be able to pay for our pack. Next turn, we can play Sanctuary, pick up a land, you know, float all the mana packed, and then be on 3 mana. So we actually are just 2 turns out here because I just stupidly played out a bounce land without even doing any forward calculation. That's really dumb of me. You know, it's whatever. No big deal. All according to plan. Wasted a land drop as well. Flicker Wisp. Okay. Worth noting that Flicker Wisp hitting a Turn Timber Symbiosis is bad news for us. Play out another Saga here, I guess. I guess actually... What am I doing? It would have been better to play out the Turn Timber so we could have Titan this upcoming turn by packing for Grazer. I am playing this entire game horribly. Let's just... Oh, I guess we would have gotten punished for that anyways, thanks to the fact they have second Flicker Wisp. So, our play, while arbitrarily incorrect, ended up rewarding us. We might still be able to win here just because our opponent is doing something kind of slow. Drawing cards with Wall of Omens. I mean, you can do that if you want. Okay. I think now we do have to play out the Turn Timber. They're unlikely to have a third Flicker Wisp, and we want to be able to make a token here, so... We could double pack to get Dryad and Grazer and then put in a Titan. And I guess haste off Crumbling Vestige Slayers. Get double Valakut. Probably wouldn't be lethal anyways. Ephemerate. I mean, our opponent's got the value. Wait. We don't want to yield through the turn. We want to be able to activate the Saga. Give her, okay. And next turn we can get a Dryad into play before doing the things and kill these Givers and our opponent's Flyers, and it's not going to be even halfway a problem. There's a Vial. Oh, we might still be able to win this game just because our opponent is doing things that are very slow. Let's hope they don't have, like, a Path to Exile or something. They definitely could. Let's see, we could play a land, Dryad, play Sanctuary, 3. No, I guess, I don't know if we can get a Dryad and play this turn. Oh, we're gonna have double Amulet. Never mind. We can definitely get a Dryad in play, so... We might be able to get 2 Dryads in play, in fact. And that way we can play around Path. I think. And we'll just take the damage here. We have a million ways to win this. The question is what the best possible path is. So we play Sanctuary, use 3 of it, leave a green floating, play Dryad, pack 4 and play Dryad. Play Sanctuary again, leaving double green floating and a Saga up. Play pack 4 and play second Dryad. Play Garrison. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Leave a white floating, activate Garenbrig, play Titan. Get Valakut, bounce land, play second Titan, get Valakut, Stronghold. No, then we would only be able to haste 1, which might be fine. There's definitely a way to just straight up kill our opponent here. Just gotta start doing the things. I think the exact course of our actions here is not really that important, to be completely honest. All right, let's 5 to get rid of the yield so we don't get yield punked by our own amulets here. The other question is, can we manage to leave our lands in play here as much as possible? Especially if we're going to be double Summoner's Pacting. The Ephemerate Flicker Wisp. Okay. Target the bounce land. Okay. I don't know that this does any... Oh, it's until end of turn. Okay. I see. Well, we definitely need to float with this Turn Timber because we're probably picking it up. Interesting. Yeah, we gotta pick up the Turn Timber. So if we pack for Dryad, play Garrison... No, wait, play the Dryad, play Garrison, float 3... green and the red-white. Grazer out, Garrison, we would be 1 short. We Grazer in... If we pack for Grazer in Turn Timber, make 2 mana, pack for Dryad, play Garrison, we would only have 1 green and red-white, so we can't do that either. I don't know if we can Titan here, thanks to that Flicker Wisp. Or the Ephemerate, I guess, really. We might just have to play the Reclaimer and pass here. Let me check the deck list real quick. So if we just play Reclaimer here, next turn we can play a land and Reclaimer into another land. Like play Garrison, float red-white, Reclaimer into another bounce land, and have enough to cast Titan for sure. We could pack for Dryad, play like Turn Timber Symbiosis or T-West or whatever, float a green, play a Reclaimer. Then on our next upkeep, pay 2 in response to the trigger, sack something to get a bounce land, float 4, pick up the bounce land, pay for the Summoner's Pact, go to main phase and play the bounce land and have Valakut triggers, potentially with our Titans. I think that's better. I guess if our opponent answers our Reclaimer, like with a Skyclave Apparition or something, then we die to Pact. So I think we're probably supposed to just play the Reclaimer and pass here. As unfortunate as it is. Alright, well, we're doing it next turn. It's a good thing we haven't cast any Pacts yet. No reason to attack, I don't think. Oh, we get a bounce land here. I don't know how good that really is for us, but that's okay. I guess it's not bad. We discard here, I guess, the Turn Timber. That makes sense to me. So next turn, we play Garenbrig, float 1, activate play Sanctuary, activate Reclaimer, leaving green floating, get a bounce land. It's up to 5 floating. Pack for Dryad, play bounce land. Oh, they Flicker Wisp us. Ooh, that's kind of nasty. I still think we can probably Titan pretty easily here, though. Even if we just played Garrison, sack it to its own trigger in response, after floating the 4 mana, you leave red-white floating, activate Reclaimer, get bounce land, float 4 more, have 0 lands in play Titan, get bounce land, Valakut, get second Titan, leaving a bounce land in play. None of that even requires us to pay for a Summoner's Pact. We could probably even pack for a Dryad in the midst of all of that. In fact, I think that playing a Dryad would be free after we got the second bounce land. This is complicated. Shouldn't have been this complicated. We should have been able to play Titan a long time ago, but what can you do? Unfortunately, if we have to sacrifice the Garrison, we may or may not be able to haste our Titan. I guess we could only haste 1. That might be enough if we have Valakut triggers, though. Let's see, if we play Garrison... If we play Garrison... Oh, we can just play the Sanctuary instead. Okay, we'll draw. Okay, so if we play Sanctuary, leave double green floating, sack it, get get bounce land, like Simic Growth. Play Titan, we'll have 1 land in play. Play second Titan, we'll have... Oh, hold on. We probably need to play a Dryad also. Alright, let's start by playing a Sanctuary here, I think. And in response to this bounce trigger, we need to activate Reclaimer, I do believe. Yeah, I think that's fine. This way, we'll end up bouncing 1 less land, because we'll have 2 bounce triggers on the stack, but it won't matter, because we'll only have 1 land to bounce in the first place. So, alright, we'll get Growth Chamber. This is complicated. So if we pack for a Dryad, leave 3 floating, play Garen Brig, float 1, activate Garen Brig, we can play a Titan, leaving 1 land in play. Then second Titan leaves 2 lands in play. Wait, no, 1 land in play. Titan gets a second land in play. This is complicated. Okay. I know what I'm thinking, but I don't know how to explain it. So we pack for a Dryad, leave 3 floating, play Garen Brig, activate Garen Brig, cast Titan that leaves Garen Brig in play. Titan gets bounce land, Valakut, picking up the bounce land, leaving 2 lands in play. Cast another Titan, get second Valakut, haste land. And then, even if they path our Titan, assuming our Dryad is still alive, we can pay for Summoner's Pact on our next upkeep. In fact, we can do that anyways by activating a Reclaimer, so I think we are pretty much good to go here. Okay, so we want a Dryad. Garen Brig. This is gonna be a messed up turn. We'll activate, play Titan. Say yes. Get Valakut and Growth Chamber. And we'll pick up, I guess, the Castle. That's better than picking up the Valakut. Or the Growth Chamber, I mean. We have to leave the Valakut in play, obviously. Right, here's second Titan. Yes. So if we pack for a second Dryad here, we can get the Garrison in play. If we get Bounce Land... we can't... We needed to pack before playing the second Titan, so that we would be getting 2 untapped at the Stronghold, actually. Now we'll only be able to haste 1 Titan. What if we get... Selesnya Sanctuary and Slayers? We put both Slayers on the bottom, Sanctuary for green-white, and then for red, and activate Stronghold on 1. I guess we still can't pack. We'll have 1 floating. Then we can put in a Grazer and the Boros Garrison, leaving the Stronghold untapped. I guess that does it. That way we can haste both. So we get a Sanctuary and the Slayer Stronghold. Yeah, this should be fine. Alright, so we want both Strongholds on the bottom, I guess. Although I don't think it really matters too much. I will untap the Sanctuary. This is such a messed up turn. Alright. So, we have a green floating at the end of all this, which lets us Grazer in the Garrison to activate Slayer Stronghold a second time. So that's all fine. We haste this Titan. We leave an untapped Stronghold and a green floating, pick up the Sanctuary. We pack for a Grazer, and Grazer out Garrison. What a slog. Alright, here's the Grazer. I guess it doesn't even have to be Garrison. We can float 2 mana of any color by putting in a castle or Talari West here. So I'm going to go with the castle since it's a green source. Dryad will let us tap it for 2 mana of any color, so as long as we don't mess it up. Right, we'll untap once. Float a white. Or a red, it doesn't matter. Untap second time. Float the white. Activate on this Titan. Now we have 2 attackers, and we'll be guaranteed to get a bunch of lands of play for this attack. So even if they would have to have double path. Okay, there's one path. Yes. We'll get the forest. Alright, do not have second path, please. Even if they do, I think we're still not dead, because we can Reclaimer out a land. Alright, we still get to attack with this Titan, so we're probably just winning the game here. So second Valakut, Vasuva copying Valakut is going to be 2 lands entering times 3 Valakuts is 6 total triggers, which is 18 damage. They can block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we can't do lethal that way. Yes, we want to use the ability. Interesting. If we get Yavimaya and Sunhome, we can double strike the Titan. Get 2 Valakut triggers, and we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll be able to pay for both packs, even if our Reclaimer dies. So I think that Yavimaya and Sunhome is the best. Or it could just be Valakut and Sunhome, and hope that our Dryad will survive. Yavimaya will ensure that even if we lose both of these 2 creatures, that we can still pay for our packs, though. I think Yavimaya Sunhome is probably the best choice here, so that's what I'm going to go for. Alright, we'll point these Valakut triggers at, I guess, the Givers. They can use their Givers to protect each other, I suppose. Alright, we'll untap. Untap. Float a red and a white. Untap. Untap. Let's just go ahead and Sunhome our Titan. And then we can always, yes, always deal these Valakuts. They Giver, of course. They protect the Flicker Wisp. Okay. We have Grazer with Reach to block here if their Givers just die. So they could have Givered to protect this one from colorless and then Givered to protect this one from colorless and saved both Givers from these Valakut triggers, but whatever. They're looking at 16 damage total from this Titan, so I guess technically if they give protection to another Flicker Wisp, or, yeah, it would have to be another Flicker Wisp, but then they're actually looking at 14 damage, but whatever. Alright, that's fine. I think it would have been better for them to keep both Givers, but whatever. I don't think we have any more remaining land drops, so. We'll always yes, always yes, always yield. Kill these Givers, get them gone. We can pay for both Summoner's Pacts, as is. Even if our opponent kills both Dryad and Reclaimer. Whew. I don't know if this was the optimal line for this turn. Let me know if you found something better in the comments below, if you even bothered. I thought I always yes these. Always yes. Yes. Oh, it's the same Valakut, that's what happened. When I auto yes the second one, it made it an auto no, and not an auto no. It removed the auto yes anyways, so. Okay. What in the world is this game? We still have a backup Titan here in the Talari West in our hand as well, so. They block with the wall, of course. That makes sense. Might as well. Yep. And I guess there's no reason to 5 here. We want to make sure that we... Yeah, we didn't have another land drop to play. They killed the Titan! Oh. Curious. Okay. But we have a backup Titan, and we also have Dryad plus Valakut in play, and we can use Reclaimer to set up a second Valakut, so there's a million reasons why this is totally fine. We can even Reclaimer to get a second Valakut before we pay for the Summoners Pact. Use 2 mana, float 2 mana, get 2 Valakut triggers, go land, and just kill our opponent. So our board is still actually lethal. They Spellbinder, seeing a hand of literally all lands. Cool. Swing with the crew, that is fine. I guess we might as well block with a Grazer. Try to prevent shenanigans, you know. Alright. Summoner's Pact on the stack. Let's float with the Forest and the Valakut, and we'll Reclaimer away the Forest. I guess they could Violent Arbiter in response. But even then, I guess we just pay 2 to the Arbiter, get bounce land, and then still just do our thing, so that's fine too. Alright, let's get rid of this Forest. Alright, we get the Valakut. Save targets upstairs. Stack these amulets. Always yes, always yes, always yield. We'll float some green here. Reclaimer's actually been quite good this game. We're lucky that it's a bit of a slow game here, but... Alright, we'll hit OK. We'll pay for one of these packs, leaving the green floating. Alright. And now we'll float with these as well. We'll pay for the second pack. Even if our opponent answered our Dryad here, we could still play a second Titan. I guess they would have to answer the Dryad in response to the Growth Streamer entering, so we'd be able to transmute, not necessarily to get Titan into play this turn, but we're still not dead. No, we are dead if our opponent answers Dryad, but I think they would have answered Dryad by now if they could, so... Grazer. That one's awesome. Alright, so yeah, we're definitely playing Growth Chamber here. And our opponent is theoretically dead if they can't answer Dryad right now. Even still, that's 4. Grazer out. Bounce land is 7. Transmute. We can pact for Dryad, play another land after. No, wait, maybe not, because we... No, yeah, that would still work, because we haven't played more than 1 land drop this turn. Whew. Wow. That is all I can say about that, is wow. Alright, so we want explosives, we want trackers, we want dismembers. Might want forces and foundation breaker. Depends on if our opponent has Stoneforge or not. And even so, they probably have Cauldra, which is nothing that these things can handle. So, yeah. Grazers are actually great because they're nice chump blockers or just infinitely blocking 2 power creatures. Ghost Quarter, not really a big fan. Alright, we want to trim Turn Timbers because they're weak to Flicker Wisp. If we play it as land and they Flicker Wisp the Turn Timber, then it does not come back as a land. It just stays permanently exiled. Not great. We can trim on Reclaimers just in case our opponent does have Arbiter, and Summoner's Pact for the same reason. Bog is irrelevant. Cavern's irrelevant. I don't know what else to trim. Garenbrig seems good here. I guess 1 fetch land can go if we're playing 2, which I think we are. Yeah, we're playing 2, so we'll trim the Misty Rainforest. Actually, I'm going to trim the Windswept Heath, because I feel like most Titan lists will likely be playing Heath, because it's the cheapest option, so if our opponent does have a Pithing Needle effect, they'll probably name Heath before they name Misty Rainforest, but that could be completely wrong. I guess just the second pact as well, since we have Talaria West and trackers to draw into extra Titans, and pact is really bad against Search Hate, so we'll submit. Yield to the turn. That was a interesting game one. We get to turn 1 Grazer out of Saga, which is quite nice. We can even play a turn 2 3-drop if we draw it, or we can just activate Saga. We have a lot of interaction, so I'm going to keep this. I imagine there's got to be cards our opponent can play that punish Saga, right? I wonder if they're playing discard spells like Inquisition and Thoughtseize as well. Because it's possible. Discard spell is not too bad for this hand, to be honest. We don't really care that much. Grazer's a little... Not Grazer. Giver's a little annoying, though. We could just lead on Dismember on this. If we don't Dismember now, and they have a second Giver, we still have a window to Dismember one of the Givers while the other one is Summoning 6. So I think it's still safe for us to just immediately Grazer out Saga here. I suppose there's some possibility we have to Dismember soon, and that would prevent us from getting a token from our Saga. Yeah, I guess that's a big enough reason for me to want to put Valakut in play here, because next turn, we can play Saga, have the freedom to even double Dismember if we want to, and then from that point on, we can make a token and still hold up Dismember, so we probably are going to have to Dismember this Giver. Our opponent just plays land and passes. I mean, that's gotta be great news. Here's a Saga. I'm not going to be able to activate for a token this turn anyways, so I guess we might as well pass. I don't see a reason to Dismember now. Obviously not attacking with Grazer for any kind of meme, because the points of damage definitely matter. I could easily see us making a token. Oh, Ashiok. Ugh. Well, at least we have Saga to make some threats to deal with that. Let's Dismember this now, I guess. Yeah, we're definitely going to be picking up the Saga with a bounce land, so we can play Saga again and get a third token rather than only get stuck with 2. Especially in case our opponent has Flicker Wisp. So we're going to make a token main phase, play, I guess, Gruul Turf, since it's the one that we don't care if it gets destroyed. We really would like to keep our blue mana for transmuting, although I guess that doesn't really matter with Ashiok in play, but still. We have Valakut to activate Slayer Stronghold and Sunhome if we naturally draw them, so we don't really need to worry about the red mana from Gruul Turf. So I guess we'd rather have the Growth Chamber. Right, Saga going upwards. Amulet. That's not bad. Okay, well, we'll play the Amulet, and then we'll play the bounce land, activate Saga in response to the bounce trigger, and then pick it up. And that way we can still hold up Dismember. Alright, so Amulet. We'll play bounce land. This also bumps our tokens by 1 power and toughness, which is not at all irrelevant. Alright, we'll activate the Saga. We'll pick up the Saga. And we'll pass. The more things we can use to clock our opponent's Ashiok, the better. For certain. I wasn't expecting Ashiok in this matchup. Maybe I should have, because of the fact that our opponent's playing black, but I guess we could also expect maybe Tidehollow Sculler. There's not much we can do about it. The only thing we have for Ashiok in our sideboard is Engineered Explosives anyways. That said, now we're feeling really smart for trimming one of the fetch lands, 2 of the Reclaimers, and 2 of the Summoners packs, because Ashiok absolutely destroys those cards. I guess Ashiok also doesn't interfere with them searching with their Stoneforge Mystic if they play it as well, whereas Arbiter would. Here's a Flicker Wisp, Skyclave, same difference. Oh, it's non-token though, so we can Dismember this to get a additional 1/1 and then clock Ashiok down to 2. They exile the Amulet. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. This does make our construct a 1/1 instead of a 2/2. Still probably should Dismember this, I think. Otherwise, we're not able to attack through our opponent's Ashiok, so... I don't know, though, because if we activate Saga twice more, then there'll be 3/3s. I don't know, whatever. I'm just going to Dismember. I want the clock. That's what I want. Titan off the top. Ain't too bad, ain't too bad. We'll play the Saga here, of course. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have a Ghost Quarter or Field of Ruin. They do have Shambling Vent to block as well, so... We'll swing everything but the Grazer at Ashiok. Good on our opponent not to be minusing, by the way. There's absolutely no reason to minus against us. Some people think that hitting random relevant one-ofs is a benefit or whatever, but in reality, you're just making your Ashiok easier to kill, so good job on opponent. And yeah, next turn, if we feel so inclined, we can just jam a 6/6 Trampler. Otherwise, we're just activating Saga, which might be just fine. There's the Flicker Wisp. Okay. Interesting. Well, we've tried to play around this as best as we can. Our opponent has had 2 creatures to answer our tokens, sadly. Now we have to decide whether we're going to be activating Saga for a token or casting Primeval Titan. We can decide after we draw. I think we're activating Saga for a token and then picking it up with the Sanctuary. Do the same thing. Oh wait, we don't want to do this yet. We'll let this resolve. Yeah, I think we just need to try to make as many tokens out of Saga as possible here. That way, if our opponent does have the answer to our Titan, we aren't just completely out of the game. So, we'll play the Sanctuary here to try to get the maximum number of colors of mana in play. Pass it back. I mean, we're obviously attacking into our opponent's Flicker Wisp here. We don't mind if we trade, but we also don't mind if we just get a damage through, so... And at this point, I probably will not attack, or will not block with Grazer, I mean, because we could potentially draw Slayer's Stronghold to be able to attack with it. So... I guess there's also one benefit of not casting the Titan, which is if we can get Ashiok out of play before we ever even have to cast Titan, then we will get to search with it, which is, I mean, that's not nothing. And they didn't trade their Flicker Wisp either. They have a field, so I guess the Saga plan is kind of off. They field our Simic Growth Chamber? Really? Okay. Well, never mind. I guess our Saga is just perfectly fine. We get to search from that because it's our opponent's effect that's making us search, not our own. So Ashiok doesn't do anything against their field, obviously. Our opponent's starting to catch up to us on clock, which is kind of impressive. Not in the way you would want it to be impressive, but still. And I think we're just playing Saga and jamming Titan, especially drawing the second Saga here. We're absolutely just casting Titan. Boom. 6/6 Trampler. Can you handle it? Our opponent's on 2 cards, so they might not be able to. Of course, we're not going to search here, thanks to freaking Ashiok Dreamrender. They had Vanishing Verse. Okay, whatever. Crew, meet Ashiok Dreamrender. I guess maybe we should have done this attack before we cast the Titan, just to see if they want to trade Flicker Wisp. Of course they want to trade Flicker Wisp. Dumb question. Next turn we can make another token with the Saga, and then pick it up with Gruul Turf again, because our lands make creatures, and that's totally fine. Another Flicker Wisp. Well, our opponent is definitely playing the slow, grindy game, but I actually think Saga is kind of winning this game at the moment. Better that they flicker the 1/1 Spirit than one of our actually good tokens, so... I mean, we're doing the thing again. And now we'll use Growth Chamber, since we, again, want as many colors of mana in play as possible, I mean. There we go. Pass it back. See, if our opponent had even minus Ashiok one time, it would be dead right now. I mean, our hand doesn't actually have anything that would have been affected by Ashiok at the moment, but it's very possible we could have centered a game around killing Ashiok and then playing Titan, and then they would just lose the game on the spot. Whereas now, at least they still have Ashiok in play, and we might not be able to attack into their board thanks to this Tidehollow Sculler blocking away our construct. I guess if we drew... This is kind of a risky attack from our opponent. I guess if we drew Engineered Explosives, we could still attack through and at least trade. And again, I'm not going to block with the Grazer, because if we top deck Slayer Stronghold, then we can attack into our opponent's Ashiok with our whole board and get rid of it. So definitely reasonable not to block, I think. Our life total's kind of low, not going to lie. Off the top, Titan. Ain't bad, ain't bad. Okay, well, I guess we're playing the land and casting Titan and passing. Stupid, annoying Tide Hollow Sculler. That's 6. Here's a Titan. No search. Pass it back. I mean, we're definitely able to race here. Assuming we can get this Ashiok out of play, and assuming our Titan survives. If they answer our Titan, and we actually can't get the Ashiok out of play, I guess we're guaranteedly getting Ashiok out of play this upcoming turn, assuming they don't. No, because they have Shambling Vent as a blocker also. There's the path. Well, we'll go get the land, I guess. Yeah, this is just barely slow enough to not be able to make it through. It's Ashiok doing a lot of work. We might be getting to the point where we have to block the Flicker Wisp, or we're just going to die to it. I guess a Dryad off the top would actually be insane also. At this point. Since our opponent has used so much single-point spot removal, like the Path and the Vanishing Verse, they're unlikely to have an answer to Dryad. I'm going to cease blocking for one more turn here. Alright, opponent's on official 0 cards. Second Valakut is not too bad if we manage to draw a Dryad. I think we're supposed to play Saga here, though, instead. Yeah, we'll activate and swing and force our opponent to trade their Tide Hollow Sculler. There we go. And then we'll play a second Saga so we can make as many tokens as possible as fast as possible. And now we probably do have to block the Flicker Wisp, just so we have one extra step. I guess we also have Radiant Fountain as well. We are supposed to play Saga here, though, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we probably do have to block Flicker Wisp with the Grazer now, though, because it's possible our opponent could top deck removal for the Grazer, and since the Flicker Wisp has flying, we wouldn't be able to get through from that point on, so. Are we chumping the Shambling Vent with our Construct? I don't think so. 2/3 lifelink. Yeah, I think we're supposed to just take that damage, but still chump block with the Grazer, I think. They minus the Ashiok. I don't think I would suggest that. I guess they could have drawn another Ashiok, perhaps. They milled Summoner's Pact, Grazer, Dryad, Sanctuary. Well, half of those cards were good. Don't know which one was on top. Yeah, they... Of course they drew another Ashiok. Okay. Interesting. I mean, we're definitely blocking the Flicker Wisp. Don't really have a choice there. We're not chumping the Shambling Vent. We're not chumping the Shambling Vent if they were to attack with it, because in a turn from now, our constructs will be able to beat Shambling Vent in a fist fight. More lands is not really helping us, but okay. I think we play out a Valakut here. No, we probably play out the Radiant Fountain to increase our clock even a little bit more. So we'll do this. And I think we are supposed to swing at the Ashiok here. If our opponent wants to fire up Shambling Vent to block, then we'll make a token at instant speed and kill the Shambling Vent. We'll pass here. No reason to just go ahead and make the token, as I guess that plays into something like Engineered Explosives from our opponent. I don't know why they would have that, but something that kills our tokens or whatever. And they also might not realize we can make a token, and then they Ashiok us again, milling over a tracker of note. It's the only thing we really care about. The other Saga is a little bit missed, but that's fine. Okay, they Flicker Wisp. This is probably going to hit the untapped construct, I would think. Oh, they're flickering the Ashiok. Gross. Okay. Well, I mean, that works, I guess. Now they're less on time than us. How does that happen? Okay. Not attacking with the Shambling Event. They just absolutely refuse to do it. They're not attacking with a Flicker Wisp either, huh? I mean, I guess we're about to have a bunch of 4/4 constructs, so I can understand that. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and activate Saga now. We can yield through all of this nonsense. You know what's good against Ashiok? Urza's Saga. Alright, we'll just activate here. No reason to try to do it in response, I suppose. Look at all our 4/4s. So nice. Titan off the top. Alright, we'll sacrifice our Saga. If we send everything at Ashiok, it'll go to 1. I think we're just supposed to slam the Titan here, actually, and not worry about trying to search immediately with it. I think we want a Gruul Turf to pick up our Fountain, however. Do we send everything at Ashiok? I think that we do. I think we send 2 at Ashiok, actually. That way we can have 1 in reserve if our opponent draws a removal spell for a construct. They kill one of these and we still can block the Shambling Event with the other, so I think this is the best way to attack. And if our opponent just, like, lets Ashiok go, then we get to search with Titan. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Well, I am very happy with this trade. Getting 2 Flicker Wisps off the board, those are, like, the only way that our opponent was actually going to kill us, so. Okay, well, here's a 6/6. Guess we tap 1 extra mana. Who cares? Get them dead. Here we go. Urza's Saga completely destroying this game. And we got to see the power of Reclaimer in game 1. Super nice stuff here. Who needs to search your library anyways? Let's just beat an onboard Ashiok. How about that? Let's just do that, huh? Vesuva. Okay. We can Vesuva our opponent's Shambling Vents. That seems a little much, though. Alright, let's just go to combat. We'll send 2 constructs at Ashiok, and the rest at them. Ashiok, Ashiok, you. That way they can't just chump block and save their Ashiok. So we'll be able to search this upcoming turn. Activate Shambling Event. You got it. It doesn't have Death Touch or anything. It's just lifelink, so. I don't know why they're blocking here, but okay. Sure. Okay, Ashiok down. Let's play a Radiant Fountain. Why not? Pass it back. Yeah, I think our opponent is extremely unlikely to win this game at this point. And they scoop it up. Whew. Well, that was a strong showing for the card Urza Saga. Game 1, our Reclaimers were awesome. And despite just, like, playing way slower than I ever had to in Game 1, we ended up taking it down regardless. So, again, I apologize for having to do this so late. Of course, my quality of play is a little lower, and it also makes you guys have to watch this a little later. So I do apologize for that, but hey, we are currently 2-1. I'll see you guys for the next round. This is Redface Menace, signing off.